as well. Let's have a little chat now about Tuesday night. How do you think Liverpool are sort of set based on what you've seen today?
Well, Mo Salah said it himself in the interview there. They were a bit flat first half. They were a bit flat in Paris, obviously midweek.
Still find a way to win the games, particularly Paris. To win that
which is a good trait they have, isn't it? It's a good trait. But I think the PSG, it feels like after the result the other night, you know, Alisson was unbelievable. They went away from home, got a solid performance. They got the very late goal from Elliott, of course, and everyone thinks that's the job done. But I think PSG will be looking at thinking, do you know what, they're not playing at their best right at this second. They're not playing the best. Southampton, obviously, the team bottom of the league, you know, held them for long periods of the game today. I think the likes of Barcola, Dembele, and I'm going to try and say this name for the 15th time, Kvaratskhelia, who was phenomenal the other night, I think they'll be rubbing their hands thinking we can go to Anfield and cause an upset. Yeah,
I think at Anfield as well, though, the atmosphere is already there before a ball is kicked.
Yeah, it'd be class, yeah.
So I think a big one for me is Salah against Mendes on that wing. If Salah gets the upper hand there, the whole fans, he's like the golden boy of Liverpool at the moment.
I think the fans in particular, it's kind of set up very well because because PSG were so good in the first leg, it feels nearly like they lost it in some ways, and the fans they're all going to be giving PSG the respect they deserve, including the Liverpool supporters, I would say. Yeah. So they start with a 1-0 lead, but also with this feeling that we're nearly the underdogs against this team.
Yeah, to come away with a 1-0 win over there after such a tame performance, you know, and you could see the PSG heads were down after the game as well because they gave everything and still came away as losers.
Do you think, you mentioned Carrots earlier there and the performance in the first leg, will there be more space even in the second leg because Liverpool are going to potentially
they might attack. It depends on the way Arne Slot sort of approaches the game. I don't think he'll try and just protect the league, especially as Shane rightly says, the atmosphere at Anfield will be off the charts in the Champions League night. It'll be crazy. But I was just looking at the stats there in the breaks. 70% possession PSG, 27 shots they had on goal. You know, it was much one-sided game you'll ever likely to see. But then again, if your name's on the trophy, the Champions League trophy, you have to sort of suffer at times away from home, especially. And I think Liverpool will probably be favourites on Tuesday, but I don't think it's a done deal yet.
What do you reckon about the performance today of Darwin in terms of Tuesday night? He obviously had the late impact set up the goal. Is he putting his hand up a little bit for a starting spot?
Yeah, he will put a bit of pressure on Slot to put his name in the hat. It depends on what game the manager thinks it's going to be. If there's space in behind the back four of PSG, I think Darwin is your better shout. But if they're going to drop in and try and soak up the pressure, then I think Jota is the better player. So it depends on what the manager thinks the game is going to be like.
So maybe Jota to start then, and more likely Nunez to come on as he has been doing.
Yeah, and I don't know. It depends on how stretched the game is. You know, if PSG do drop in, Nunez wants the space up front because he's big, he's strong, he can dominate defenders with a bit of space. But when they're camped in their own 18, like they were in the first half today, it's hard for him to get on the ball.
What do you reckon? Because it did feel like even in the first leg, actually Nunez might have been more useful from the start, the way because they were playing quite a lot of long balls.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I think it'll be a totally different game. You know, especially at home, Liverpool will be a different game. But at the same time, you know, Liverpool there'll be concerns again. I know they won today, comfortable in the end, but they didn't play at their best, and of course they definitely didn't play at their best in Paris. And I just think the other side of the coin is the PSG players and the staff and all be going, you know, this team isn't. They're there for the taking if they can play. And I think the Paris Saint-Germain team as well, which has really struck me, is the legs in the team, the sort of youth they have, and the pressing all over the pitch. And yes, Liverpool will have long periods of maybe possession, but them guys on the counter attack are so quick, and we know, you know, the fullbacks of Liverpool like to push on. The spaces down the sides of the centre halves will be huge.
Do you think though there was a lot of talk about the front three of Paris Saint-Germain the other night and how youthful they looked and how exciting they looked and how Liverpool's looked very flat by comparison? But like they've all got big egos, Salah and Diaz and these guys. Do you think they'll feel like they've got a point to prove and at home can possibly prove it?
Not a point to prove, but I just think they're so, especially Salah, he's just so competitive and he wants to win everything. That I think he approaches football in the right way. He's got a good head on his shoulders and he will just go out and be desperate to win.
Yeah, what do you reckon?
Well, I mean, you could arguably say that the Premier League's done now, isn't it? So then again, now the players now in the changing room will be thinking the next couple of days, well, let's recover, get ready for Tuesday. But like it's one trophy near enough part. I know any Liverpool fan up and down the country is probably shouting at the TV now, right, saying we're not done it yet. Like, but everyone probably believes that it's the job done, so they can really sort of focus all their energy and stuff for Champions League now, because the players will start thinking now we can get double here, like two major trophies in our ways if they can get past PSG.
I'm going to save your prediction for Tuesday night, Shay. What about yourself then, Shay? Give you a couple of days to think about it. Sounds like you're leaning a bit PSG, I have to say.
A wee bit, yeah.
It sounds like that might change by Tuesday. Shane?
I could see a 3-1 again for Liverpool.
3-1.
I think it's going to be. I think
Yeah.
it's going to be tight, but I just think Liverpool are at home with that atmosphere. I think they're just going to get on top, and it's going to be hard for PSG.
Well, listen, you've ended on a high there, Shay, certainly for our Liverpool fans watching. It's great having you in today. Thanks
for
a
having
million.
me. Thanks for having me.
Shay, we'll talk to you again in a couple of days' time. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your weekends, and we'll chat to you on Tuesday night. It's going to be a big one.